And just 47 days, 37.6 million ounces of silver disappeared from COMEX vaults. Not traded, not shipped, not consumed, just a gone. This is the largest vault drain since 1980. The same year, silver exploded to $49 and came inches from blowing up the entire futures system. But today, the situation is far more unstable. The market alarm that shouldn't exist. Right now, something is happening in the silver market that professional traders only expect in moments of extreme stress. Spot silver is traded in above futures. This condition, backwardation, means one thing. People are so desperate for immediate delivery they are paying a premium just to get silver today, rather than waiting for a contract that promises silver tomorrow. That is not bullish sentiment. That is not speculation. That is panic behavior. At the same time, for major South Korean banks halted silver sales indefinitely. China restricts citizens from buying physical gold and silver through banks. Russia remains frozen out of London metals markets. And behind all of this sits the real crisis. COMEX deliverable silver has collapsed from 80 million ounces to just 43 million. To put that in perspective, for every 1 ounce of real silver in the system, there are 50 to 100 paper claims on that ounce. A structure like that doesn't bend, it breaks. The 4-stage silver collapse pattern. This isn't new. This same sequence has repeated throughout monetary history. And every time it ends the same way. Let's walk through it. Rewritten, but with the same facts. Stage 1, real metals equals real money. For decades, silver was literal money. US coins were 90% silver until 1965. Your dollars could be exchanged for metals on demand. The supply was steady, predictable, trustworthy. This was the stable era. Stage 2, paper replaces reality. Then the shift occurred. Instead of silver backing money, the system began creating paper claims. 1 ounce gives 10 contracts, gives 50, gives 100, because printing paper is cheap. Mining metals is not. The more claims issued, the lower the price appears. Not because supply increases, but because promises multiply. This is the illusion era. Stage 3, the physical squeeze. Eventually, demand overwhelms the paper system. Industrial demand rises. Investors want delivery. Vaults drain rapidly. This is where we are today. COMEX registered silver has collapsed from 80 meters to 43M. Withdrawals are accelerating. On November 17th alone, 613 million ounces left the vaults. South Korean banks stopped selling because they can't source supplies. Chinese banks are restricting physical access to citizens because the state is accumulating. India is importing record volumes because the public understands currency crises. At the exact same time, solar demand is exploding. EVs need double the silver of combustion cars. 5G, electronics, medical equipment, and military tech all rely on silver. Global mining output is plateauing. The 2024 deficit is 149 million ounces. This is the nothing adds up anymore era. Stage 4, the paper market breaks. This is the final stage, and the one that hasn't fully arrived yet. But we are close, very close. Stage 4 looks like this. COMEX trading halts, delivery failures cascade. Futures contracts settled in cash against the buyer's will. Spot prices jumps, but physical premiums explode into the $40, $100 plus range. Dealers run out of entire lie paper claims, become worthlessly real metal matters. When stage 4 hits, the question will no longer be what's the price of silver? It would be, can you even get any? The Hunt brothers, the warning everyone misunderstands. To understand why paper silver fails, you must understand 1980. Two Texas oil billionaires, the Hunt brothers, began acquiring silver aggressively. They bought 2 million ounces, half physical, half futures. Between January 1979 and January 1980, silver rocketed from $6 to $49.45, a 724% gain. But they made one mistake. They used leverage. COMEX simply rewrote the rules, banned new long positions, doubled margin requirements, first liquidation. Silver crashed from $21 to $10 in a single day, Silver Thursday. The Hunts lost $1.7 billion and went bankrupt. But here's the lesson nobody talks about. Everyone holding physical silver walked away unharmed. Many walked away richer. Only the leveraged paper players got crushed. The Hunts didn't fail because silver collapsed. They failed because the exchange changed the rules. You can change rules on a contract. You cannot change rules on something you physically own. Why 2025 is far worse than 1980. The Hunt brothers were just two individuals. The system could freeze them out. Today, the demand is global, industrial, and governmental. You cannot freeze out South Korean banks. China's national buying India's record imports. Solar and EV manufacturers. Global investors' bullion dealers running dry. COMEX losing half its deliverable supplied scale is too large. You can't stop the world from wanting real metal. The data that proves where we are. COMEX registered silver. 80M gives for 3M. Public demand, highest since 2011. Spot price greater than futures price backwardation. Industrial deficit, 1 for 9M ounces in 2024. ETF seeing inflows despite price volatility. Dealers reporting tightening supply. Premiums $5, $8 over spot and rising. South Korean banks suspending sales. China restricting physical purchases. India importing record volumes. Every signal points to stage 3 accelerating. Stage 4 is not a theory. It is the next logical step. The window is closing not because some guru says so, not because of hype. Because vaults are empty, banks are stepping back, backwardation is screaming, supply is gone. The market is telling you the truth, you just have to listen. Every fiat currency in history has failed, every single one, average lifespan 27 years. US dollars fully fiat since 1971, that's 54 years, we're on borrowed time. And you cannot print silver. You cannot create it with policy. You cannot algorithm your way out of a supply deficit. Physics doesn't care about economic models. So here's my question, are you going to wait until the market breaks and wish you had acted, or recognize the pattern, trust the data, and do something? While there's still time, the choice is yours. But the windows want to stay open forever. If this made sense, if you see the pattern, subscribe now. Because what I've shown you is just the beginning. The silver paper market collapse is one symptom of a much larger systemic failure in the currency crisis, the debt spiral, the derivatives time bomb. All following the same four-stage pattern, all headed to the same inevitable conclusion. Vaults draining, banks stepping back, nations hoarding. Supply deficits deepening, paper markets stretched beyond reality. The clock is ticking. When stage 4 hits, the only thing that matters is, do you own real silver or not?